Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you for joining me for our last in this week's Stamp Set of the Week, Reindeer Fun. And what a fun we have had with this card. So today we are going to create this beautiful masterpiece with the postage stamps and as many dies as possible. I have to say I have really loved this stamp set, and it will definitely be staying in my arsenal of wonderful things to be able to use for Christmas and create. It's been such fun. So today we are focusing on mainly the dies. So let me bring in my supplies. So I have got, well, hey, she says, I have got Granny Apple Green that measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. I have a piece of Poppy Parade, which measures 3.5 by 5, no, it measures 3 3/4 by 5.5. And then I have 2 pieces of white card, which also measure 3 3/4 by 5.5. One is for the inside card and the other one is for all my stamps, all my dies I'm going to use to create my postage stamps. So here are the postage stamps, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to layer them onto this piece of card, and I'm going to cut out them all. A couple of them I will be cutting out twice. And basically once I've done that, I will get a page of, or a handful of dies like so, that we will be using to create the card. Plus I have got all of these dies which are going to help me, that one needs to go back over there, which is going to help me create my card today. So this is what we've got. So to create the reindeer in itself, it takes 3 pieces. So you have the full piece which you run through. I suggest the darker colour. So for me here, I have used early espresso. Then you've got the next layer, which obviously is the shade lighter. So I have used pecan pie. So there we go, it's a little pecan pie. And then the next one I have used the beige to fit on, and then they will all glue together. So that's what I've used with those ones. Okay, so I have also got a piece of holly which I have stamped out. I'll just run through the cut and emboss machine with Granny Apple Green. So that's that one, the holly. Now the holly does come with some berries, so I've run that through Poppy Parade. There she goes. That's those 2. Then I have gone and gone Old Olive, and I have run the wreath through. So there we have the wreath. There's a bow which will go onto there. So again, I have used the Poppy Parade, so that will go on to our die. And then I've got these 2 for stamping and cutting out. Okay, and this one here comes with the framelit dies for the postage stamps, and if you look very close you can see that it is actually a it's almost like a postage mark to say that it's gone through the post. So on the actual card, the original card I created, I ran through the whole page and got the postage mark there, which I have to say in hindsight I don't like, so I'm now going to move it down to this piece of card here. Right, so we have all our pieces. Let us begin. Let's pop these to the side over here. Okay, so the first thing to do obviously is to work out where everything is going to go. So I've got, move along the bus here, come on, shift, thank you very much. I have got, let's just focus on the poppy. So this is going to sit onto here, okay. Then I have got the larger one, which will go down here. I have one up there, one down there. So once you've worked out where everything is going to go, then you can start doing the fun bit, should I say. Right, so that is going to be the main layout for my card. So now I start needing to add the pictures and the words. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my jingle bells, or my bells. It's quite funny. Our dog, our husky, is called Bells, and my son calls her Jingle Bells when he's, you know, it's her nickname, Jingle Bells. So every time I see Bells now, it just becomes Jingle Bells. So I apologise. Okay, so there are our bells, and I'm going to colour those in. And I have got, oh, this is dark lemon lime twist, and this is your dark poppy parade. I will colour those off screen in a moment. So the next thing to do is to put our sentiment on. So I only want the word merry, but it comes in one long strip. So taking a post-it note, I am going to cover up the word Christmas, like so. There we are, let's do that. And then I am going to tap the poppy parade onto the word merry. So I'm just going to tap it like that, remembering to take off the post-it note and throw it away. I'm then going to add the word merry to my piece of card. So let's get that straight. Come on. There we go. Line it up so it's roughly halfway, and then straight down and straight up. Oops. So there is the word merry. Oh, I do apologise. I'm not quite sure what's going on outside. Oh, it's the postman. The postman has come to visit, and it is great excitement. I had a delivery from our Stampin' Up for UPS today, and my animals went berserk. Very excited. Okay, so I'm just very quickly going to spray my word merry. Using my chamois, I'm going to just rub that word. There we go. What I don't want to do is to make sure that any word, I'm going to make sure that none of the colour bleeds into the next piece. Okay, so I've done that. I'm going to stamp it over here to the right. Make sure I'm happy that it's dry. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to do reverse of what I've done originally. So now I'm going to cover up the word merry, and then I'm going to stamp it up the word Christmas. So this is the square, I can pick it up, that is underneath, and I just want the word Christmas at the top. So I'm going to cover it up with my post-it note, and then bring my poppy in, and then stamp up Christmas. Whoops. Remove the post-it note, and then at the top of the post-it stamp, I'm just going to stamp the word Christmas. Okay, so that's going to go as far up to the top as possible, because obviously I want to get the holly in. Okay, so that goes to there. So we're doing well. So the things to do next is, if I bring that down slightly, you might actually get to see it. Oh, look at that. There we go. Miracles do happen. Okay, so this piece and this piece I am going to stamp in the Granny Apple Green, the holly. So I'm just going to stamp it up. Perfect. So one is going to go down to the bottom. I'm just going to pop that. Let's see if I can get in as much of it as possible. Okay, so that is going to be, actually it's probably going to be the top now. There we go. And then I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it down here. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to do it down this part. There we go. And then that will, oh, it's not very good, go there. Just seen a mark, but thankfully I think I'm going to cover that up with my holly. I think it must have just caught it on my finger. It's typical, isn't it? Right, okay, so the next thing to do is the Christmas tree, which I am going to do in Old Olive. Now the Christmas tree and the bells I'm going to stamp out twice. So that one is just going to go on here. There we go. Lovely. I'll go there. And then this one will stay clear for my reindeer. Okay, so that literally is, oops, all the stamping I'm going to do. So what I need to do is I need to colour in that and a spare one. And then I'm going to cut out a version of that, and then we'll come back and stick everything together. So bear with me while I do that off camera. Thank you. Okay, and we're back. So I have coloured it in. That will now go there. I have got my two other pieces, which I will use in a second. And let us put these together. So, as I said before, the fullest one of the reindeer is in the darkest colour. Then I've gone, so that's early espresso, and I've gone pecan pie. I'm not putting loads on because obviously I don't want it to spill out. There we go. So I'm just going to hover that over. When I'm happy with its location, we can just pop it down. Brilliant. And then do exactly the same with the beige. Now obviously you can use any of the browns, or I don't know, whatever colour takes your fancy, I suppose. There is my little reindeer. Isn't he gorgeous? Okay, so he basically, on this card, will slip into my, look at that, into the wreath, so the wreath around his head. So I'm literally just going to add a tiny bit of glue just to the base of the reindeer so that the wreath, yeah, I'm just making sure it was the right way around then, can fit in. Okay, and then you just press it down like so. So he's in and glued down. So the next thing to do now is to add his little bow. So again, I'm just going to add a tiny, tiny dab to the center of the bow. There we go. And then that will go down below. So there is our reindeer, and he will sit onto there. I'm not going to stick anything down yet until I'm happy with everything I see. I'm going to add the berries to my holly, so I'm just going to tap that in the middle like so, and then I'm going to take the little postage stamp die wherever I've put that, and I'm going to run it through here. So let's see if I can find what I've done with it. There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that onto there, run it through, and I'll be straight back. Okay, so let's take that off, and I think you can probably see, there we go, you can see the imprint there of the postage mark. Lovely. So the thing to do now, let's put that aside so I don't lose it, is to adhere down the squares. So let's do that first, and for ease I'm going to use the multi-purpose because it gives me that little bit of wiggle room before it's down permanently. Okay, so you're going to go there like so. Then I've got the merry, I'm going to align this up with this bit as best I possibly can. little bit of wriggle room, and then this one can come down to the bottom here. So again, let's just add that. Now of course if you wanted to, you could use dimensionals or the tape runner to give you your positioning. Right, let's just make sure I've got that. I didn't press that down until I got that into place. There we go, look at that, there we go. So that is into place, and now I can do the other side. So that, again, a little bit of wiggle. And we're going to move it over to the far right hand side. So we've got a nice little line down here, gives us a bit of room for when we put the reindeer in. That will go underneath. I'm going to try and line that line up with that, just to give it a tiny bit of, I suppose, symmetry. A little bit easier on the eye. But if you're going for higgledy-piggledy, then go for it. There we go. After all, whatever you create is your creation. There we go. Perfect. And then again, I'm going to line this one up with the top of the Merry as best I can. There's lots of sounds outside. I don't know if you can hear, but oh, hello. Helicopter's just flown over, or is just flying over. They're so noisy, aren't they? Obviously delivering somebody to somewhere. Oh, literally flying overhead. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a line down there and line it up with the base of my square, and hopefully it will line up with that line as well. Okay, so we can have it like that, place our reindeer onto there, put our holly onto there, and go for it. Or we can have a little bit more dimension to our card, and we can pop a piece of dimensional on the back of our card. Just flung it across the floor. Bear with me for a second. I flung it across the floor and it literally went straight under one of the cabinets. It wasn't a case of I could just pick it up. I had to go scurrying. Right, so let's bring a dimensional in. There they are. Right, so I can add a dimension to the back of my bells, like so. And you could do one of two things. You could hover it over the top so that it just gives you that extra lift. Or if you wanted to, you could, I suppose, have bells to different sides. Do I want it like that, or do I want it over the top? Choices, choices. Do you know, I think on this occasion I'm actually going to do it staggered. Interesting. Right, okay, so let's, oh, really am dropsy fingers today. Let's lift it up a tiny bit. Wiggle, wiggle, come on, I didn't ping you down that much. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I'm happy with that. This one I'm actually going to lay flat, so I'm just going to put the glue on the back of here. There we are, just a tiny amount, and then he can go just to the top there. So obviously with this kind of layout you can put yours wherever you desire. Now, do I lay that flat, or do I give that one dimension as well? Now the thing with this is, whoops, I definitely want my holly to be raised. So that's going to do, the first thing is going to add my dimension to that. Whoops, she said sticking it back down again. Pop that into place. A, I want it to cover up the mark I've made a mistake with, and B, I want it to not cross out my word Christmas. So now I can decide whether I want to lay it flat or raise it. I feel like I should raise it as that one is. So let's do that. One at the bottom, and then I just need a tiny half at there. I'm just going to, no, I haven't cut it, so grab my scissors. There we go. Pop that at the top. And that can come off. And we can slide that down there. There, look at that. Now, if you want to, you can grab your Wink of Stella and we can give those little red berries a little bit of glisten with our Wink of Stella. Perfect. Right, let's go up and see if you can see today the Wink of Stella gloom. Come on, you can do it. Just about, even though it is slightly out of focus, you can just about, I think, see that. Okay, right. So that is the front of the card done. All we need to do now is to fold our Granny Apple Green over. For those of you that wish to, you can score it at the 4-inch mark, bring in your bone folder and burnish. Okay, and then that can be laid flat like so. Let's take that off. Oh, it's all go here. I don't know if you can hear that scratching, but that is my little girl, my little cat, Millie. I say little, she's quite old really. And if she doesn't get her attention straight away when she wants it, she's very demanding. There we go. Right, so the question is, do you prefer the images laid flat, like these two, or raised, or really, can you not see the difference? Pop your comments in the your comment box below. I'd love to find out. I am back. When am I back? I'm back on Monday with a fresh stamp set of the week, so do join me there if you're free. If you're following me on YouTube, in the information box below you will find the link for all the supplies that I have used today. If you're on Facebook, drop a comment in the comment box if you would like to know what I've used today, and I'm only too happy to send you the information. So thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to catch up with you next week. Whatever you do for your weekend, have fun and happy crafting. Bye.